Now, when I was working in the Navy, like I told you, the only time I blacked out there is if I went to sleep, right? I don't drink, dumbass, right? No, no. I don't drink to being blacked out anyway, even if I do. Now, if I drink a little alcohol, I'm not going to stay around people anyway. I usually go to bed, right? If I were to drink a lot of alcohol anyway, right? Reason being, because I don't drink in bars, right? Only thing I drink in bars is water or Coke, right? Went into the Navy, right? So the only time they could have done something to me is if they're trying to co-red me, idiot, right? That's where, like in the few get in, they're trying to make sure you're up to Navy standards, right? As they say, that you're going with their program. And usually they're trying to beat you to death, In a code red, they're attacking you, If I'm blacking out from that, I have no memory of what they did to me, right? If I'm being healed supernaturally from the Lord, right? And that's the only time I'm actually asleep or blacked out, right? In the Navy. Except when I fell the day I fell, right? Which was September 15th, sometime after 6 p.m., right? All right. As I'm also trying to get into the room before I fell. Now, if I dived off the roof, what's going to be the first thing to hit? My neck and head, right? See, there don't seem to be a lot of damage there except from the car wreck itself, right? Which happened in '86, right? I even told the Navy about that. That's why one of the things in the book is one of my reports that said I was in a car accident, right? Where they're asking me if I was hospitalized for anything, right? And I said, yeah, I was hospitalized for my tonsils, for my eye surgery, and the car wreck. That was the only three things I was hospitalized for. Other than under amnesia, too, right? Except with the car wreck, right? Which I thought was the windshield, by the way, right? Hit my head real hard, right? Until, like I said, the fall, I started looking into it more, right? See, I don't know what normally happens to someone else in the wreck because I'm not in your shoes nor are you in mine, right? See, that's the thing about three-story fall. You don't know if I'm feeling pain right now or not, right? Whether I am or not, whether I just took some medications or not, right? If I just took some medications, well, I'm probably not feeling any pain quite right now, but that's not how it works throughout the day, right? See, if within a few hours I'm feeling pain, I ain't doing nothing to feel pain. But if I start feeling pain, I know it's from the fall, right? It's not from nothing else, really, really. But the problem is the pain can increase, decrease, depending on what I'm doing. If I start going out there trying to do karate, it's going to get worse, idiot, right? I can't do it the same way anymore, right? But if I just rest, it shouldn't hurt as bad, right? Right. If I just sit here and try to stay off of it, right? That's called cause and effect. The more you use something, the more it's likely to hurt if it's injured, right? The less you use it, the less it'll hurt. That's also like with weights. The more reps you use for higher weights is supposed to be more aerobic, right? In other words, it don't give you muscle mass, but you get an exercise with it of your body, and it wouldn't really make a major change, right, to your body, but you would basically be working out still, right, for overall effect, right? It's like doing jumping jacks. That don't really do nothing to change your physiques or push-ups, right? Push-ups, jumping jacks, they don't really change your physique, right? But again, lift 50 pounds 10 times and you might get muscle mass, right? Instead of 30, right? Like you might would do 25, 30 times, but 50 you can do 10 times and still get some kind of progress. And might actually see muscle mass, right? Or anything between 50 to 100. Most people don't even mess with 50 to 100 pounds anyway, normally. Right. No, they don't. No, they don't. See, the highest weight I got in my room back there is about 60 pounds, right? And there's a reason for that, right? Anything between 40 to 60 is a heavy weight, right? To begin with, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, right? If you're doing that kind of weight, you're going to get bulked, right? Up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And what you do is you do 40 like 20 times, 45 like 15 times, right? 50 10 times, right? And so on and so forth, right? 55 5 times. And you can do the 60 maybe 2 or 3 times, right? You ain't got to do it a lot either, right? But if you start doing it every day, you're going to see change, right? But you can't do it all day during the day. You got to do it at a set time, right? If you're injured in your back and ankle, right? From the fall and not from the wreck, right? Because I got medical evidence I was cleared from the wreck, right? They did x-rays and down to my pelvis to make sure I was okay. And because see, another thing about a car wreck is you got to deal with the steering wheel being pushed in your chest or your pelvic area. Mm-hmm. See, because if you crash a front end wreck, it's going to push the front end in, right, to your body, right? And that's when they would note it at the wreck, right? They do x-rays pretty much from your head to your pelvis at least to make sure you didn't break any bones there, right? Now, they didn't x-ray my knees or my legs. I wasn't complaining of leg pain, just neck pain, right? They knew that. But then I'm out of the hospital in 2 days. Don't tell me that ain't Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and Uriel looking out over me, or somebody is. Even though I didn't really know their names yet, or what it all meant, right? Though Raphael was also a painter, right? A man painter with the name Raphael, right? Or something, an artist, right? I know. Now he's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Okay, but one's fictional, right, by the way, right, and one ain't, right. One's more science fiction-y, right, and the other one is a real painter and artist, right. by the way, and the other is an angel from the Book of Tobit, right, who I just read about today. Mm-hmm. Now, another thing gay people will try to do is convince you, oh, well, if you do black out, you're a different person. You act more gay. I heard that crap in the ear, like, for the shit. I don't black out, right? There's only twice I blacked out before recently, and it don't matter. Recently, I got head trauma now, right? See, it was the head trauma that caused me to black out or lose time, right? Or be knocked out, another way to say it, by the way. I was knocked the hell out, right? Damn. Yeah. So that's the problem, right? Yes. And I know better than you telling me I'm a split personality. That's what you're telling me. Well, when you're blacked out, you're a different person. No, you mean blacked out drunk, they're a different person, right? Even Noah might have been with his grandson, Canaan, right? Blacked out, drunk, right? And Lot slept with his daughters, blacked out, drunk. Normally, he wouldn't even make a move on his daughters, right? But they got him drunk. They knew if they got him drunk and lay with him, he wouldn't resist them, right? So you're talking about a different kind of blackout there. Right. I don't drink, fool. That's why that don't apply. I know. If I do drink, I only drink 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages, and that's it. Right. And usually it's wine, which has less alcohol than beer. Right. Usually, yeah. Mm-hmm. And if I do drink wine, it's not more than a glass. Right. Because Paul said you can drink a little wine for your infirmity's sakes. And we're pretty sure he means fermented wine, because grape juice was a common thing, unfermented in Jerusalem anyway, or Israel anyway. Yes, it was. Now, Nazarites couldn't even drink grape juice, though. Right. Sometimes, right. Just in case it could be fermented, right. The thing about that is they don't want you drunk in the Nazarite vow. Mm-hmm. Or to drink possibly fermented or alcoholic beverages. Right. Another thing about the Lord is he prefers you not to drink. Right. Or get drunk. Right. If you do drink. Right. Now, if you can control that and you're not an alcoholic, that's fine too, but there again. Right. Some people become alcoholics when they drink. Right. But they're still basically the same person. See, the only way you can become gay while blacked out is if you're blacked out from alcohol. Right. Then you don't care who you sleep with. You can sleep with a duck if the duck could have sex with you. And you're drunk. That don't mean nothing. Right. Yes. Hell, you might sleep with an animal on alcohol. The sheep's looking pretty good over there, right, Farmer John? I heard that before. Too. Damn. And the sheep don't know better, it's a dumb animal. It's incapable of human comprehension, but the human's supposed to know better to even get that drunk. Right. And that's what you're talking about, right? Otherwise, you're saying I have a split personality and I behave totally different when blacked out, right? No. That's not me. And even when I was blacked out, the wrecking kind of come and do. I don't remember anything, see. Though the doctors has to ask me questions like, who's the president? And I would say, at the time, Reagan. Ronald Reagan. But if I'm answering him, I'm kind of coherent, but I have no real memory of the interaction between me and the doctor, but he ain't gonna try to have sex with me either. Now, only a gay person, if I was incapacitated, would try to rape me if I'm blacked out. Right. That's still rape if I'm in a blacked out state. Yes, it is. It's like roofing somebody. Right. It's no different. Right. If I start having memory problems, you can't take advantage of me just because I don't quite remember everything or who I really am. Right. Until I come to again. Right. Then I'm me again. Right. Then I'm Shane evolved. Right. Though I'm not a perfect man, I confess my sins to be forgiven my sins, and I forgive others of their sins to be forgiven of my sins. That's how you're forgiven of your sins with God. Right. I don't act like I'm perfect either. I confess them daily if I have to. Right. That's why I can admit if my stepdaughter was to come in there with me, there might be a weird interaction for a few seconds. But the next thing I know, I'm going to ask her who's sure to that and bring her back to her mom. Right. Whether she did and I remember it or not. Right. Now, the only one you can ask other than me is my ex-wife and what she going to say. Right. No. Because, see, if I did or didn't, she's the one who has to take her to the police. Right. So you're saying my wife neglected her parental duties and didn't take her daughter to the police if I molested her. Yeah. That's what you're saying, too. Right. Well, Steve Wilco would be the first to say, well, she's guilty of allowing that to happen, so she goes to jail, too. Right. That's called becoming an accomplice. Right. It's like me and my stepbrother. I didn't go into the house. Mark did. But I sure as hell carried the guns back to our house, right? And some of the jewelry, right? So I became an accomplice, right? That's why I got in trouble with Mark for burglarizing the house. Even though I didn't know we would find the house, but when we did, that's when I should have realized, we're doing something really that's burglary. Right? I should have left him alone then. Right. If I walked away or I didn't really see him going to the house, right? I said, no, I'm not going to do this, Mark. That would be different. Right, dude. I didn't do that. I played look out. That means if something was to come by, which there was a sheriff's car that drove by, the Fayetteville County Sheriff's car. Did drive by. But they couldn't see me because I was in my dark ninja outfit. They didn't even see me. They didn't even see me. Nope. And they just drove by. And see, they're not going to see unless they're looking specifically. Right. And when you're driving, you got to look straight ahead. Right. So he's not going to necessarily see anything unless he hears a sound. Right. Because he's driving, When you drive, you look straight ahead. You don't look to the left to see if someone's standing in the wooded area by a house, right? Anyway, unless something causes you to look that way, right? Well, there was nothing going on that would cause all that, right? And Mark had done slipped into the window, so he was already in the house, right? Getting the stuff he wanted to burglarize, right? Now, I don't know if he didn't know the people either, right? Again. But as soon as that happened, right, and he went into the home, I became an accomplice, right? Same with Daphne. If I left the home and she didn't go to the police within 48 hours, she became an accomplice. Yes, she did. That's how they look at that legally, too. Ask us for you detectives if you don't believe me, or forensic files, right? They can convict her. No, they can. If you can prove I molested her, by the way. Not argue with me about it on YouTube. That don't prove nothing. That don't prove nothing. That just proves you're suspicious about me, right? And can't really prove anything, idiot.